Yes, you can.
All right. Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me today here at Ignite. In this session, we will explore how you can use AI to transform your Oracle workloads running on Azure. And this helps your enterprises who have long-standing data assets to transform them into more intelligent and insightful AI applications. I'm Laxmi Yellajosyula. I am a senior product manager with Oracle Database at Azure team. Today, I'm joined by my colleague, and we also have interesting insights from our customer who is running their workloads already, Oracle workloads in Azure, all the way here to share his insights about their experience so far. So without further ado, I will invite my colleague Venkat to first introduce himself and walk you through the initial part of the presentation. Over to you, Venkat.
Hey everybody, thank you all for coming down here. So I'm Venkat, I'm a senior product manager, Oracle at Azure, and I'll let Sudhakar quickly introduce himself.
Thank you, Venkat. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sudhakar Dalavi. I head the software engineering at 𝗦𝗀𝗀𝗀 Financial Group. A little bit about 𝗦𝗀𝗀𝗀 Financial Group. We are a 100-year-old financial services company, and we have asset roughly around $126 billion. And we are serving around 1 million customers. So today we are here to tell you the story about our journey from Oracle Cloud to Azure Cloud and some of the benefits. So with that, I will hand it over to Venkat.
Thank you, Sudhakar. Yeah. So before I get started with the agenda, I just wanted to ask you folks a few questions. How many of you have Oracle databases running on-premise? Just a show of hands. Wow, that's a lot of people running Oracle databases on-premise. So how many of you know what is Oracle Database at Azure? That's good, that's good. How many of you think that running Oracle databases on Azure VMs is Oracle Database at Azure? Okay, all right. How many of you have worked with Oracle Data and Microsoft Fabric together? Not many. How many of you have built copilots or agents in AI Foundry on Oracle Data? That's just one person. Okay, cool, nice. Thank you for that. That kind of helps, kind of level set on how we have to proceed with the presentation. So in this presentation, we'll be taking you through an idea of what is Oracle Database at Azure, and then we'll hear the voice of customer talking about how they adopted Oracle Database at Azure, what were their business drivers, what was their outcomes, right? And then we'll talk about data unification, and we'll round that off with a demo. Then we'll go into how you can modernize apps with the help of AI, and AI enablement options. We'll round that off also with a demo. That's what we're going to talk about in today's session. Okay. What is Oracle Database at Azure? So if you folks are having the understanding that if Oracle Database at Azure means running Oracle databases on Azure VMs, then it's not true. Oracle Database at Azure is not running Oracle databases on Azure VMs or running Oracle databases in the OCI cloud and connecting from Azure. Oracle Database at Azure is running Oracle's purpose-built Exadata hardware inside the 4 walls of the Azure data center and connecting this purpose-built hardware to Azure networking and enabling services on this setup, right? So that's what Oracle Database at Azure is. And what are the benefits that you get? You get the benefit of high performance, you get resiliency, and the most important of all, you get microsecond latency by having, please note, I'm not talking millisecond, I'm talking microsecond latencies here when you put your Oracle database on Oracle Database at Azure on this Exadata infrastructure. Now, is it going to cost more? No. We have licensing, pricing, and feature parity with OCI. It's available, this offering is available in 30+ regions across the world. And between Oracle and Microsoft, we are providing a joint support model. We spoke about regions, where all we are at. I know many of you represent international organizations where you have presence all over the world, and we also are present all over, and we are going to increase furthermore. As of today, we are present in 31 regions across Americas, Europe, and the APAC region, and we are looking to get this number to 33 by the end of this year, and we'll grow more. That being said, a couple of years back when we started with just 2 services, which is the Exadata dedicated database service and the autonomous database service, which is the fully managed service offering. We quickly realized that 2 sizes don't fit all customers. Hence, we grew the set of services. Today, you can run Oracle database of any size across our offerings, which is we have base database service, we have the Exadata, Exascale service, where you can start small and expand, or you can go for the dedicated Exadata service, or you can go for a completely managed offering, which is the autonomous service. And finally, this is very unique, exclusive, and brand new on Azure, which is the OCI Golden Gate service, wherein you can integrate all your data, replicate your data between platforms. We are having that also available on Azure, and we support 19C, 23 AI, and 26 AI versions. That being said, let me ask Sudhakar, you joined us on this journey a year back. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
yes.
Why don't you tell us what version of Oracle database at Azure did you adopt?
So we adopted autonomous database.
Wow, that's nice.
And because that was an offering we had.
Yeah. Could you also tell us about your business drivers for the adoption, and what are the outcomes that you've seen once you adopted Oracle?
Absolutely. Thank you, Venkat. I know many of you raised your hands. How many are still in a dual cloud mode where you have OCI cloud and also Azure cloud? Excellent. You want to hear the story from us. So around 2018, our company Talcott Financial Group decided to go all cloud as an infrastructure strategy, where we wanted to decommission our physical data center. And when we made that decision, that was the decision because we diligently made, because in our migration journey, we did not want to fail. And because most of our applications were divided into 2 different categories. Some of the application would fit very well into Oracle Cloud, and some of the applications front end would fit it in Azure Cloud. And reason is that in physical infrastructure, we had Exadata frames. And at that point in time, there were no offering like what Venkat just described here. So we were in the dual cloud situation. And that is called legacy infrastructure now, because the environment is totally different than what it was at that point in time. So while we were in that dual cloud situation, we ran into a lot of challenges, because when we were in a primary data center, physical data center in our own data center, our Oracle databases and our applications were sitting together. There was no latency. But when we did this dual cloud situation, obviously, Azure cloud is connected with ExpressRoute to our primary data center, which is Equinix, and then also OCI cloud is connected with Fast Connect. So think about an application which has front end running in Azure cloud, which is now committing a transaction that has to go through all these network hops, goes back all the way to the database commit in Oracle cloud, and back and forth. So that created a lot of latency for us. So that dual cloud situation reduced the performance for our application. On top of that, think about when I'm doing the disaster recovery. How many of you deal with audits? Obviously that disaster recovery and risk management are critical for financial services companies. So when we were doing the disaster recovery situation, obviously we have to prove to our auditors that our primary Azure and secondary Azure regions can be failed over. But at the same time, I also have to do the Oracle primary to Oracle secondary. That made it much more complex. So every time we have the failover disaster recovery test, it would not work the way we anticipated. And considering all of these workloads are production, we had to really run into kind of situations where we couldn't even plan because of the issues that we were facing. So the compliance was becoming more and more challenging. On top of that, it was also creating challenges for us to grow when we acquire new blocks of businesses and integrate, because we are hungry for a growth. Because being 100-year-old company, we continue want to grow. All those implementations were taking a lot longer than today, because we had to now implement things in Oracle Cloud and Azure Cloud. So all of that complexities, on top of that, the biggest challenge, and we all know that we are all want to get into the AI world, and what is the fuel for the AI is the data. And our data was also siloed. Some data was in Oracle Cloud and some data was in Azure Cloud. So with that, I think that is the reason we decided to take this step and do a migration to Autonomous DB in Azure. And just Venkat, if you go to the next slide, some of the key benefits what we received as a result of that is now, as I was saying, the performance increased by almost 30%, but on top of that, we reduced the cost by almost 40%. So that was one of the biggest benefit. Now that all the data is now together and all our infrastructure is simplified, we are able to even help accelerate our growth because of the simplified architecture. But the last most important thing, if any one of you have dealt with audit, I know that when someone leaves the company and their access is in Oracle database, they typically have username password, right? And what happens is when someone leaves the company, auditor comes and they find out that your users are still in Oracle database. So now one of the key benefits that what we are getting in Azure is Entra ID integration or Active Directory integration within Oracle database, and that has simplified our world significantly, because now when someone leaves, then their AD ID or Entra ID get deactivated, their Oracle access is also eliminated as a result of that. So all in all, I would say that it's a great success story, very simplified infrastructure, simplified architecture. With that, I will hand it over to Venkat.
Thank you, Sudhakar, for those wonderful insights. But I have a question for you.
Sure.
So is that bringing all your workloads now to Azure, and you are running on autonomous, does that complete your journey?
No, definitely not. I mean, this is just the beginning. Think about like our aspiration of simplified architecture and modernization of our technology. It doesn't stop there.
Cool. So I have a use case which is where I have a customer called Best Invest, which is very close to the domain that you guys are in, Talcott Financial
Sure.
is in. So they're a financial services company. They help customers and partners, grow their wealth, and at the same time, meet their goals through coming up with very innovative products. And as most of you know, product design involves complex financial engineering, not to mention all those 10,000s of what if scenarios to make sure that profitability is not impacted. And at the same time, being in the financial space, you just spoke about how important auditing and regulators and compliance. The product design team has to keep in mind all of this. So as part of the use case, I've listed a few challenges, which is like there is so much of data to be analyzed. Right. Manually analyze humongous amounts of data.
That's where, Venkat, I have a question. Like now I have data in Oracle database, and we are also trying to use Fabric. Would you be able to explain me like how that data from Oracle I can bring it into Fabric?
Yeah, absolutely, I can. So we spoke about this manual analysis of fragmented data, right, and distributed data, I would say, and then that leads to fragmented intelligence, right? And what happens happens because of all of this is the product design takes a long time to get to the market, right? And in the interim, executives don't get enough insights. So these are all the challenges, as I can summarize. And we think that this situation can be solved by adopting a two-pronged approach. Number one, we got to unify the data, right? Number two, we got to have analytics which is infused with AI, right? These are the two ways in which we can accelerate. So that leads me to the next slide, wherein I want to talk about Microsoft Fabric. So we really cannot talk about data unification by not talking about the industry's first converged data management platform. Fabric was created on the premise that there is a lot of fragmentation in data management solutions, right? And this causes friction, and customers are not able to get value out of their data. And when you cannot get value from your data, that means you're not able to harness the true power of AI, which is where Fabric comes in and unifies all these aspects of data management, be it data integration, be it analytics, be it real-time intelligence or business intelligence. And all of this runs on the OneLake platform, and it comes with governance and AI that is built in. So what's OneLake? So similar to how you have your OneDrive for all of your files, think of OneLake as your data lake. It's for all of your data is stored in OneLake. And Microsoft Fabric OneLake is the first multi-cloud SaaS data lake. So how do we get the data into this data lake? There are primarily two ways that we want to highlight. One is through mirroring, second is through a copy job. These are the two ways. One is near real time, other is batch. In mirroring, you get copies of the data and it keeps getting replicated. In copy job, it's a batch mode wherein you could not just copy the data, but you could also do some transformations. We'll talk further about mirroring. There are two ways to mirror your data. One is through what we call as database mirroring, where we have specific connectors for specific source technologies, right? And another is through a concept called open mirroring, where we have opened up mirroring, wherein customers and partners can go and capture the data changes that are happening in their data estates and bring the change data over, and the open mirror engine will pick it up and process it and bring it to the mirror database. So two ways to mirror. So let's talk about the first way, database mirroring. Database mirroring is where we have a first-party native connector to the Oracle database. It supported across on-premise Oracle databases, multi-cloud, and now we are supporting Exadata running on Oracle database at Azure. So we need to use a on-premise data gateway. Even though the name says on-premise, it's really not on-premise. You can run it on Azure VMs, and along with the gateway, you also need Oracle client for Microsoft tools, which actually is a wrapper around the Oracle data provider, which is what will be used to capture changes and replicate it. Then let's go to the open mirror. Now with open mirror, as I told, you could capture changes yourself, or we are opening it up for partners. But as part of Oracle database at Azure, we have an enterprise grade offering, wherein we are running Golden Gate as a service, as a native service on Oracle database at Azure. And Golden Gate provides a solution where you have a need to do this mirroring or data replication in an M into N model, where you have M sources, N targets. You will be able to capture from all these different sources and replicate the data over to all the targets that Golden Gate supports. As of today, OCI Golden Gate service supports 300 plus combinations of sources and targets, right? So you are getting enterprise grade reliability, you are getting universal connectivity, and you are getting a cloud native, a fully managed experience. It's available in 6 regions, and we are expanding to many more. Similar to any other Oracle database at Azure service, you can draw down upon your Mac or consumption credits when using OCI Golden Gate on Azure. I spoke about a few options, multiple options. Let me use this slide to summarize them. You are looking for M into N data replication and connectivity, right? And then you use Golden Gate. You want to run it on Azure, you can. You can run it as a service on Azure, you can run it on VMs on Azure, you can run it on OCI if you require. You can run Golden Gate on premise, and you could use a hybrid option amongst all of this. Let's say you want to quickly mirror data, you don't want to spend time setting up the infrastructure for Golden Gate. Then we have first party specific Oracle database mirror. You can spin up a mirror in minutes, and you can start replicating your data over. Finally, you say, I really don't need near real-time data replication, but I want to make changes in my data, I want to transform my data, then we have the copy job for you. Now, there could be use cases where you really do not want to move your data. You want to use your Oracle data where it is. Then we have the no data movement. You can build agents from Copilot Studio, from Microsoft Foundry. You could connect to it from GitHub Copilot. Let's say you are not a coder. You are not a developer. You want to use the no code option. We have Power Apps. You could connect to the Oracle databases from Power Apps and quickly spin up applications. So I have a demo for the option wherein you can use Oracle database mirror to quickly replicate data over from Oracle. And since it's a fast moving demo, I'll just quickly walk you through the steps. I'll be showing you the Exadata service. I'll be showing you some data in Oracle and how to spin up a mirror quickly, and the fact that we are using an on-prem data gateway. and then I'll show you that the data is mirroring, and then we'll go in and change some data, bring the data over and show you that change data is available in the mirror. I'll not go into BI or Power BI reporting in this demo for the sake of time. Instead, I'll show you how you could quickly build a data agent, and you can ask I'll give you a glimpse of what can be done once you've got all this data into the mirror database, but I'll have Rajesh show you detailed demo of how in all the ways in which you can spin up or infuse AI into your workloads. We'll get started with the demo. So this is our Oracle Database at Azure website, wherein you can go and onboard to Oracle Database at Azure services. In this case, I'm going to be using an Exadata database service from where I'm going to replicate the data. And let me go to the Exadata database service. We have Oracle Exadata VM clusters. I'll pick one of them, and I'll go in and copy the scan DNS name. The reason that I'm showing this to you is because I'll be using this DNS name when I'm actually connecting to Oracle from SQL Developer, right? So I think this is the wrong demo that we're showing. Yeah. So I'll probably come back to this demo later. We'll show the data unification demo later. We'll switch over and we'll probably go into the AI part of the presentation, and we'll come back and show you the data unification.
Thank you, Venkat. I think this is really helpful, like now how we replicate the Oracle data into Fabric. Thank you.
All right. Although we haven't seen a demo, we have gone through all the steps theoretically through the slides of how someone could unify your data using Fabric. Now, so let me switch gears and ask you, Sudhakar. You have some experience with Fabric, and you might know the whole story of unifying data. So is that enough to solve most of your challenges around data fabric being available in distributed systems and being fragmented?
No, as I was saying earlier, right, our journey has just started. I think one of the key things that what we have achieved now is bringing the data into Azure, and now as Venkat described how we can unify the data. But I think the big thing what I'm looking forward to, how can we leverage Fabric as well as other AI tools like Foundry, and I want to really learn more about that from you.
All right. Yeah. So let me help Sudhakar and all of you in the audience understand what have we in terms of offerings from Microsoft available also to be applied on Oracle databases at Azure to bring you AI-infused insights. So first things first, let me introduce to you to the whole ecosystem that Microsoft offers. No matter what your requirement is, whether to enhance and modernize your existing applications with AI insights, or to build net new agents and agentic AI solutions, Microsoft has it all covered for you. With Copilot Studio being our low-code platform, your citizen developers and non-programmers can spin up agents and agentic AI solutions with just few clicks. Microsoft Foundry, on the other hand, is on the other side of the spectrum for developers. It is our pro-code platform and platform as a service offering which helps you develop, deploy, and code AI solutions. So while Microsoft takes care of the infrastructure, your developers can focus on building more intelligent and advanced solutions. Microsoft Foundry offers a catalog of 11,000 plus models, ranging from foundational models, enterprise models, small language models like Phi, and many other enterprise models readily available for your usage. And we also have a lot of tools available. Let's say with Microsoft Fabric, you have native connectors available in both Foundry and Copilot Studio. That way you can build your multi-agentic solutions quickly. So your data agent in Fabric can talk to an advanced agent you would build in Foundry or in a custom Copilot in Copilot Studio seamlessly. And remember, all of this is being done in a secure manner. So you don't have to worry about data leaks, data residencies, and things like that. All of that is taken care by Microsoft. So with this AI ecosystem, what we have seen as a common pattern emerging from enterprises is first, with the RAGs being the most widely adopted pattern, we're also now seeing enterprises move towards building standalone agents. Reason why? They just don't want semantically right information. They also want actions taken on such information that is retrieved. So they would rather want an agent that could go order a laptop for a new employee that's onboarded, and also have that agent communicate and collaborate with other agents and have human in the loop to approve any actions and sensitive actions that are to be done. So that is why we are seeing agentic AI as a clear pattern that is emerging and is the new frontier. So now that we are aware of all of this Microsoft AI ecosystem that is readily available, let's see how that plugs and plays to Oracle workloads running in Azure. So no matter what your requirement is, whether to build a custom copilot or a Teams agent that helps your teams collaborate better, or to fine-tune a foundational model with Oracle data, you can do all of that using any platform of your choice. It can be Copilot Studio or Foundry, and our GitHub Copilot is our AI paid programmer that helps your developers to code better and faster. And with Oracle MCP Server now being available in VS Code extension, developers have the whole toolkit to connect to databases, run SQL queries without having to write explicit APIs for it, right? So there are two options on how you can leverage your data. Option one is where you still keep your data in Oracle ecosystem and use rest of the two layers to build your own custom AI solutions. Option two is where you can unify your data with other heterogeneous data estate that you're already maintaining in Fabric. So using mirroring or Golden Gate, you can bring your data into Fabric from Oracle ecosystem and spin up any of your AI-infused application as per your requirement. So this is the option one where I have mentioned there is no need for data migration. So here in Copilot Studio, you have a direct native connector that helps you connect to databases in Oracle, choose the tables of your choice, and ground your custom copilots with that information. Here, again, you're not moving any data, you're directly connecting to it. So that is the reason why you have real-time access to your data in this option. And with Oracle 23 AI's Onyx support, you can use any external model to vectorize your data when you need to vectorize it. So you can provision a text embedding model from OpenAI in Microsoft Foundry, use that securely in Oracle 23 AI instance to vectorize the data of your choice and put the data back in Oracle Database instance itself. And then you can still build a custom Copilot using Copilot Studio, or build an AI-infused solution or agentic AI solution using Foundry. And for low-code platforms like Power Apps, you still have that direct connector with Oracle Database that you can leverage to connect your data and build a quick business application. And this is the option two where you can unify your data within Fabric. And Fabric provides a native AI agent called Data Agent that helps you to spin up an AI agent on structured data. So you can choose up to 5 different data sources from your data estate, and can also choose the tables that are to be used by this data agent to bring structural data insights. And this is a near real-time data access option, and you can seamlessly integrate this data agent within Copilot Studio, Foundry, and expose it in channels like Teams or M365. Now let me introduce to you Maya, who is an AI developer and who's well-versed with Microsoft's AI ecosystem. She has great hands-on with Copilot Studio, Foundry, and built agentic AI solutions before. So she takes the key challenges that we have in our use case with Best Invest, the firm, and translates those key challenges into persona-specific solutions. So she builds a custom Copilot for financial analysts to have unified data insights. She builds a Teams agent to help business executives who are suffering with fragmented intelligence to combine both structural and unstructured data insights together and have those near real-time access to make more and better business decisions. And lastly, she also builds a quick business application using Power Apps, our low-code platform, and uses a direct connector to Oracle databases to power up that dashboard. So now let's see how this is all brought to life with a quick demo. So Maya first launches Azure portal and notices or identifies the Oracle autonomous databases and Exadata database instances she has. Once she chooses the right instances to be used, she switches to VS Code, makes secure connections to both of these instances. Then she uses GitHub Copilot in agent mode in VS Code and chooses a model of her choice, the large language model that is powering this agent. And with Oracle MCP Server now available through the extension, the VS Code extension SQL-CL, she has powered this GitHub Copilot with additional tools. So with quick natural language prompts, she first tests what are all the available connections she has handy. And as you're noticing here, all she is doing is natural language prompting, no code, and using the available Oracle MCP server and her permission to connect, the available connections are listed. And she goes a further step away to understand how is the ADBS instance and what are all the available schemas for her access. And then using the LLM's capabilities and Oracle MCP tools, the connections are made and information is retrieved. And what would usually take developers some hours of time is now happening in a few seconds. And it retrieves all the available schemas. A developer chooses best invest as the schema that is more relevant in our use case to build custom copilots and AI solutions. So using this schema, she now goes a step further to understand the tables and their relationships existing in the schema. Here, Oracle MCP Server is in full play. So all the tools that are available through Oracle MCP Server are being fully leveraged to make these connections, understand the relationships between the tables, and the results are retrieved, highlighting how and what is a primary key within each of these tables and what the relationships are. And once she understands the lay of the land, she does the same for Exadata database instance she has, and she also uses GitHub Copilot to write a stored procedure for her to retrieve information as needed. So as you're seeing, all of this code is getting generated. She has all of this handy either to use as it is or make changes as needed. So now she understands the structural tables and their relationships. So now she moves to Fabric to understand what else does she have in Fabric, which is a data estate. Right? In Fabric, she notices there are also some unstructured files in the form of PDFs that are maintained. So this is more of relevance to business executives. So she understands that there needs to be an agent that could seamlessly transition between structured and unstructured data to draw those insights for business executives. But just before she goes there, she first spins up a data agent in Fabric to help the financial analysts who are suffering with issue of distributed data. So she enables a data agent, which she calls financial advisor, and publishes that. Let's see how this financial advisor is helping financial analysts. So analysts can now compare or draw comparisons between available products. So with just a natural language prompt in the backend, the data agent is skimming through the tables that are available without any mention of which columns to look for, what are the aggregations to do. All of that is happening in the backend with the intelligence of the data agent. So as you're seeing, this is the SQL query that is being used as well. And then the analyst can go a step further to understand what are the underrepresented segments within their customers. And the data agent comes back with a response of what those are. And now the analysts can use all of this information to design new products. All of this is happening with a sequence of prompts, and what would usually take them hours of time and weeks of time to kind of instrument new products is happening in fraction of time. So this is how financial analysts are getting benefited with the help of a data agent, which is helping them with unified data insights from structured data. So now you can also publish this data agent with integration to a custom built Copilot in Copilot Studio. All you have to do is navigate to Copilot Studio, add your published Fabric data agent, make a secure connection, and then select the agent that is of relevance. And you can add more sources to this and make this more elaborate. And now what Maya does is wants to help the business executives. So she uses a similar pattern of adding a data agent to build a custom copilot which can not just talk to your structured data, but also have insights from unstructured data. So she establishes a Fabric data agent connection to the tables that are of relevance to the executives. So once this connection is established, she knows there are PDF files in Microsoft in Fabric which needs to be used to this copilot. So she uses Azure AI Search to power up those unstructured data insights. So prospectus files that we have in Fabric are now connected to this agent using the Azure AI Search, which does the vectorization of this data and enables vector search. And going a step further, she also wants to ensure executives have ability of sending emails through this agent. So she adds the tool to help send an email with just a natural language prompt. So there are 1,500 plus connectors, as I've mentioned earlier, through Copilot Studio, through which you can use any one of them. And she uses send an email as a tool to enable that functionality for this agent. So once all of this is done, she goes ahead and publishes this in Teams and M365 as her preferred channel. And you can also have the rest of the channels that are available as your choice, but in our case, we choose Teams because that's our preference. So now let's see how this all comes into play. So business executive would come into Teams and first want to understand what are the top and bottom performing products. So with just a natural language prompt, the response is retrieved. They can go a step further to understand what are the drivers contributing to this performance. So all of this is between structured and unstructured data is now collated into a single response using this agent. And the business executives can also go a step further to understand how are they comparing against their peers and come up with a quick business strategy with the help of this powerful agent in Teams. And last but not least, they can also send an email of this summary to the advisory board who are meeting next month for quick analysis. And this is a sample of an email that is sent. You can beautify this email as you require. So, and last but not least, let's see how we can make a direct connection to Oracle databases. So Copilot Studio comes with a direct connector that is available. And once you make a secure connection, you can see all the tables that are available in your schema directly without moving data. So all the tables that you're seeing on the screen are the ones that are directly connected using this secure connection. And I can select the tables that are of relevance in our use case, and then once that is done, you have a custom copilot that is directly talking to your data in Oracle ecosystem. So Maya uses this direct connector that is available and builds a Power App, as you're seeing on the screen, to help the field and sales advisors to have better customer engagement. So anything on the left side is populated directly using the native connector to the Oracle, and the one in the middle is also being powered by that direct connector. So in addition to this, she also uses the custom copilot option to power this copilot with data from a particular table. So this is helping the sales executives to have better conversations and have better customer engagement. So what usually would happen with a bunch of files is just happening with a quick business application, which is used and built through Power Apps and direct connected to Oracle databases. So that is all the art of possible that you could do today with Oracle databases running on Azure. And remember, no matter what you're building, whether it's agents or agentic AI solutions, all of that are secured. Microsoft Purview provides the required data security and governance, and with Entra ID authentication and role-based access control, you can control who has access to these agents and how. So, and last but not least, all of the data is still within your customer tenancy. You're not migrating or moving data. As you're building these agents, everything is still maintained in customer tenancy. So that is how we have solved for the problem statement we have shown you at the beginning through two-pronged approach of unifying data using Fabric and also enabling AI analytics on top of it for better insights and building agentic AI solutions. I hope this is all helpful, but I would also want to ask our guest here, Sudhakar, on what he feels now about everything that we have seen so far.
Thank you, Rajya. I think this is great. To be honest, lot of information what you presented here, unification of data, also unstructured data, and also one of the key points you highlighted here is the security of the data. Like, I mean, those are some of the big concerns that many organizations have, and how it can all come together with Foundry and Copilot. I think except I can use exactly what you showed here as it is, except maybe I have to change the name of the developers. But other than that, I think it was great. I mean, to be honest, I think this is really, really helpful for our organizations like us who have 100 years of history, data all over the place. They want to leapfrog into AI, but really they don't know how to do that. With all these tools that you provided today, certainly I'm taking a whole lot of information back to my developers and executives and the risk analysts and the financial analysts. So certainly I think this has been a great finding, like the education for us really as financial services. And I'm sure many of you who are in the healthcare industry or financial services or any of those industry must have similar challenges. I think certainly Microsoft is doing great in terms of helping us. So thank you for that.
Thank you. That's great to hear. And we have about 4 minutes left. So if you're all interested in MVP program, you can join us. And we also have an Oracle Database at Azure LinkedIn community. You have the QR code there. We post all the latest features and functionalities that are coming up. So feel free to join the group and follow the further updates. So we do have some time. If you want to summarize on Fabric once again for the audience to be more helpful.
If I can see if I can play the demo, if it works. Or maybe we can take some questions and we can
we can come back to it if there is.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hi, Venkat.
Yes.
I'm just curious, is there still this requirement, I think there is, between OCI for the control plane and Azure Database Oracle Database in the Azure cloud? Is there any intent to decouple that so you're not dependent on OCI to operate?
As of now, you are right. There is a dependency that you need to, for some of the operations management and administration operations, you need to go over to the OCI control plane. But we are actively listening to customer feedback, and that's something we are considering, and we are looking at how to develop that as a journey as we go along. There is no concrete plan as of now, but it's something that we have in our mind. And there are a lot of customers who are asking for this. They don't want to shift between the two control planes. So we are definitely considering that.
That is exactly what one of the question I had to Venkat, because we have still got the OCI control plane, and our goal is to eliminate the OCI cloud completely and manage everything through Azure, but I think that's on the roadmap.
Yeah, so even though you are using the UI, the user interface and the user experience of the OCI control plane, your data is still inside the four walls of Azure, and you are just using that as an interface to just get to the Exadata or autonomous database, etc., and manage that infrastructure or the database.
Yeah, but it's all about managing complexity, right?
Yeah, I hear you. We hear you. Yes.
It creates a false dependency, which is not required.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and I've actually submitted, as you can imagine, my request. Very senior levels at Microsoft, but it doesn't seem to be much progress.
No, the way we work is when we take all the inputs, and we are hearing this from a lot of customers, and we will look. We need to plan our. It's a journey, right? We need to plan our next steps and work through on that. We'll keep you posted.
I appreciate that you're still considering.
Yep, definitely.
There's a point, making a lot easier if you get that control plane with the OCI. It's linking the assets.
Sorry, I could not hear you.
It's linking, the process of linking the assets once you deploy it on the Azure Oracle. We're linking, the Exadata, if you had to, decommission, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yes.
That's exactly what, as a customer,
yes,
I'm also feeling the same. My goal is to eliminate the OCI cloud completely. Yeah.
Yep. Got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Right, thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you. Have a great rest of the day.